If it's in Hampton Roads, it's on the Hampton Roads Show.
Hey, welcome to the Hampton Roads Show. Our live audience today is from Hampton Roads Shave to Raise, the local St. Baldrick's Day fundraiser. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to find out more about their event and how you can help.
And in the kitchen today, we have Chef Ken Horler from Benzi Restaurant Italiano at Peninsula Town Center in Hampton. He's going to show us how to make an Italian classic, linguine with clam sauce.
Plus, wedding week continues, and getting married doesn't have to mean going to the church. On today's Wreck on the Road, I'll show you a sports-friendly alternative and a look back at one of the biggest weddings in Hampton Roads history.
Wow.
We're getting hitched all week long here on the Hampton Roads Show. Time to tie the knot, everybody.
If you're ready. If you found the right person.
No pressure.
Chris isn't speaking to everybody.
No, I mean, all week long we're just talking about getting married and taking that leap of faith.
Yes. Well, hey, if you're thinking about popping the question, today might be a good day to do it at IHOP.
Oh!
Like your lady or your hubby or your person of interest, IHOP's National Pancake Day celebration is today. You get a free short stack at IHOP. In return, though, for the free pancakes, guests are asked to consider leaving a donation for Children's Miracle Network hospitals and, of course, other designated local charities. So, you go in, get some short stacks, and in return, donate for a good cause.
Short stack is Jeremy Wheeler's rap name. Did you know that?
Short stack?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, he'll confirm that when he comes through, I'm sure.
Hey, let's stick in the theme of food. How about this Mosbur's Fried Chicken in Portsmouth featured on Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives last night. In case you missed it, you can see it again Friday, March 9th at 9 on the Food Network. And if you've never had Mosbur's Fried Chicken, you are missing out. It is excellent fare right here in Portsmouth.
I've not been there yet.
I mean, if you remember, the Hampton Road Show actually caught up with Guy Fieri way back when he was shooting that piece. So now it's finally on the air.
If you remember.
Well, we're going to stick with food topics. Speaking of chickens, if you want to call it a debate, but here's the thing. A lady, her name is Tracy. She lives in Virginia Beach. She's been raising chickens for about the last year or so. She has 22 chickens that produce around 19 eggs a day. She says her neighbors support her. She's not harming anyone. She's raising the chickens. It's kind of part of the growing movement. More cities are doing it. But the problem is that it's illegal in Virginia Beach to raise chickens in residential areas. So city council members in Virginia Beach are saying they would have to change zoning rules, zoning codes. And the vice mayor, she just says, quote, "It's against the code and I just don't have an interest in changing it." So the question is, do you think that it should be legal to raise chickens in your backyard? Like Portsmouth, you can't at all. You have to have a permit in Norfolk and some other cities around Hampton Roads. But what would you say if your neighbor had a bunch of chickens in their backyard and was raising them? And
I'd be okay with chickens, but if they had a rooster, I'd have a problem with that.
The rooster's a noisy one.
Rooster, no rooster, chickens definitely. I think it's kind of a neat thing. However, I think it's going to be a sticky topic in highly populated areas. When people are very close together, I think it's going to be a problem to have chickens in your backyard. But I think it's a great idea to be able to have chickens for the eggs. And, every time I've left this country, everywhere I've been, people have chickens, it seems. And it's kind of a neat thing. They're great pets. There's a lot of good things about chickens, but I think it's a problem in urban areas.
Yeah, you got to keep it regulated, though. You just can't have them running everywhere. But I think it's a good idea. I think I think she's not harming anyone, and she's doing it for good cause. Her neighbors support her. Why not?
And like this 6 eggs that her neighbors are getting on their doorstep every morning is keeping them,
like,
happy. But I mean, I also can see, and we've seen in a lot of these things where local governments kind of take this as a slippery slope thing. So somebody says, okay, well, chickens. Well, I would like to have a goat. I would like to have a goat for milk and cheese.
I'd like to have a cow.
Right.
Yeah, you have a little farm next door.
Then your neighbors have a cow.
The city, says that their argument is that they're trying to protect the human population with pest control and diseases and things of that
I bet they eat bugs.
Yeah, they snatch mosquitoes right out, she said.
Yeah. Really? And they're great for the garden. You know what I mean?
Fresh, local. So that's one of the debates. Send us your comments on that one. To raise chickens
Cookie's over there
or not to raise chickens.
Well, they might stink a little bit.
The smell. She was raised with a chicken.
Oh, really?
Oh, the smell.
All right, we're going to switch gears here.
Just put some Febreze out there.
We're going to switch gears.
Febreze. Out in the breeze.
Oh, Febreze in the breeze.
Open the back door.
All right, we're going to switch gears from chickens to Daytona. And oh my gosh, what a crazy weekend it was for the Daytona 500. It rained out on Sunday. They raced it last night in prime time, and it didn't finish till Tuesday this morning. Second lap, Jimmy Johnson gets in a crash. Later on, Juan Pablo Montoya loses control of his car, hits a jet dryer. 200 gallons of jet fuel explodes on the track. Stops the race for 2 hours. They finally get it back to racing, and Matt Kenseth wins for the second time. They've seen fire, and they've seen rain. They've seen all kinds of craziness in Daytona. We just want to know. It's the biggest race of the year for NASCAR, but it was the weirdest of all.
Did you mean to make us all think about James Taylor?
If you went there, that was the intent. I mean, just want to know your thoughts, NASCAR fans. It was this Super Bowl of NASCAR racing, and I mean, it was crazy.
Now, Danica Patrick, 38th. Is that good?
38th. Better than Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gord.
Okay.
Was it good? She got caught up in a crash in the second lap.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long, tough season for her. She's going to give us a lot of interesting moments, I can tell you that.
Sure.
But it was an interesting race. Matt Kenseth won. Most people even know about it.
I don't know. I've never been a big NASCAR fan. I just think it's scary. They're going around the track and you see accidents like that happen.
Sorry.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
Driving 195 miles an hour around the track.
Dangerous.
It's a left turn.
Dangerous.
It's one big left turn. Well, why does there have to be so many laps? Like, how about just 5?
5 laps?
Yeah.
What's the? Come on. There's
what difference does it make?
You wouldn't have seen that crash last night. You
Why
would have seen the jet dryer blow up.
Everyone was okay?
You just can't predict.
Are you
no one was hurt. You
Dangerous.
can't predict what's going to happen in a NASCAR race, and every race is different. I know they go around and round and turn left a lot, but there's so many things that happen to determine a winner. You have to go an extended distance.
All right.
Well,
as long as everybody's okay.
Clue you in on NASCAR if you want.
Clearly, Coach Chris needs to make another.
No, we don't need any more.
I just don't know why it has to be that long. That's all.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished second.
Well, Andy Lewis, our director, has long been telling me I need to go to a race and then I'll get it.
Just take your earplugs.
All right.
Please do.
I'm a camper. All right, let's get short stacking over here. Jeremy Wheeler.
No, we got one more.
Jeremy Wheeler. Oh, I forgot.
Names.
Well, you can come over anyway.
Come on,
I kind of blew it. You can stay here, but you have to stay silent.
Until your part.
No, I was supposed to bring up our wedding week topic that we talked about before the show, and
let Jeremy do it.
Okay, but he doesn't know what it is.
Right. Yeah.
It's whether. Who's my? It's whether you should change your name when you get married. Is it just an automatic that you're going to do it? Did you struggle with the decision to change your name? You know, is the hyphen thing, is anyone doing the hyphen thing anymore?
A bit controversial.
Yeah, it can be. It can be.
Yeah.
I remember struggling with it. I think part of it was that I was 33 when I got married and had been Matson for a long, long time. And it was kind of, you know, had accomplished a lot with that name. But ultimately I changed it. And now Matson is my son's middle name. So it stays, you know, in the family. But I think, you know, you're influenced by a lot of things. I know Kevin's parents and my parents very traditional, so I kind of knew that they would be all right with that. But I read an article about another woman whose name, her family name, is going away, and she kept her name because, you know, she's Jewish and she has relatives who survived the Holocaust, and she wants to keep the name, you know, there. So it's a personal choice, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think the big thing, as long as both parties can agree that are getting married, you know, which, you know, you bring the parents in.
If your wife didn't want to change her maiden name to yours, would you care? I don't even know if she did, but does it matter to you as the dude?
Well, I mean, I would definitely care. You know, I wouldn't say no, I wouldn't say yes, just downright. You don't have to definitely sit down for a long discussion and think about the pros and cons of both. You know, especially the women's career. Sometimes it's you know, it's vital that they have their own name for a long time. You know, a lot of folks knew you as Madison. So
but it's not like I got a new head. I mean, I just got a new name. So when I came back from my honeymoon, they knew I was still there doing my job. You know? But if I were a dentist and people were looking in the phone book, that would be different.
Let us know what you think on Facebook. Go on there and
there
you go.
Chime in. Give us your 2 cents, your thoughts.
Okay.
And when you're on there, you know, you could always answer the pop quiz, which we'll get to in a moment. But let's take a look at the weather first. The forecast for today, we're talking about temperatures in the 50s. We got some sunshine. Tomorrow we got warmer temperatures, but it will be raining, especially from the peninsula northward. That's the highest chance for rain. And then Thursday, 71 and some sunshine. That looks pretty good. Saturday, another chance for some showers. All right, let's take a look at that pop quiz that I mentioned. Here it is. The first clue is black, white, and red all over. Has a Rhode Island cousin. 5th largest Virginia city by population and one of the first cities in America, believe it or not. Put those 4 clues together, thehamptonroadshow.com, and submit your answer.
Okie dokie.
Interesting. All right. Well, Carrie, you're heading off to the kitchen.
I am.
But today's winner will receive it. You saw it last week, of course. They're going to get their very own Oscar swag gift baskets loaded with the same goodies that the stars took home on Sunday.
All right. You know what? You might have a Rhode Island cousin because you're from New York. I want to introduce you now to Ken Horrell. He's the executive chef from Benzi Ristorante Italiano at Town Center in Hampton. You actually just came to the area to do the Hampton Road Show, and people may not know there are Benzi restaurants all over the East Coast.
Yes, we have 20 restaurants, 1 in Virginia, 2 in PA, and all the rest in New Jersey.
Okay, I hear that. I hear that New Jersey and New York coming out. And we've already covered it. He's a Yankee fan. I'm a Red Sox fan. We've covered
Yanks.
it. We're okay. Because, you know, you were born in New York and I was born into Massachusetts, so it's not like we had a choice.
Are we allowed to stand next to each other?
We are. We're allowed to stand next together. We're allowed to cook together. What are we going to make today?
Sounds great. Well, today we're going to prepare a dish called linguine vongole. Simpler terms, linguine white clam sauce. It's one of our specialties at Benzi. And it's all about fresh cooking, fresh ingredients, and cooking to order.
Well, I mean, I would bet that's pretty easy to achieve with all the restaurants being in coastal states, you know, to get the fresh seafood.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to get it started in just a little bit. All right, be nice. He's from out of town, even though he's a Yankee fan.
And he's ready for St. Baldrick's. All right, Wedding Week continues on the Hampton Road Show. Coming up, we're talking with the folks from Behind the Veil Studio about how you can put your best face forward for your wedding day.
But first, our cost-cutting queen, there she is. Lori Clayton is here today in honor of Wedding Week. She's going to share her strategies for making the most out of that wedding budget.
All right, we're back in the Hampton Road Show kitchen with Ken Hurley. He's the executive chef from Benzi Ristorante Italiano. There's a location in Peninsula Town Center, but you actually came from up north to cook today.
Yeah, I drove down last night.
All right, well, thank you very much for being here today. You're going to make, what, linguine?
Vongole.
Vongole.
Linguine white clam.
Okay, so what's the first thing that we need to do? I know.
First thing to do, have some hot water going, bringing it up to a boil. I like to season it with a little bit of salt.
Okay.
The one thing at Benzi is that we cook all our pasta to order. Nothing is pre-cooked. We drop it from the dry state or the fresh pasta.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be using some dry pasta. So.
Okay, that makes a big difference. I mean, I used to work in an Italian restaurant as a kid, and they would say, "Give me a spaghetti ball," and it was just this already.
Well, it gives us the opportunity to cook it al dente at the customer's request, or even well done, and some people want it mushy.
Okay.
All right. So a couple of things we have going here. I dropped the pasta in the hot water. The clams we're going to be using today is little neck clams, and also I use some chopped clams and with fresh clam juice. So we take the chopped clams and we use the juice from the fresh clams.
From the fresh ones, okay.
All right, so I have my pan. I always use pure olive oil.
Okay.
Right.
And the pan's hot already.
I already heated up that pan right there. You got a little, I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And the thing we like to start off with is a little fresh garlic.
Of course.
All right, we have to wake everybody up.
Yep.
So a little fresh garlic. You smell that going?
I do.
And
give me some tips if somebody's going to the seafood market and they're looking for some clams to make this dish. What are you looking for? Because it can be a disaster.
You know what? It can be, and sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
You got to trust the market that you're going to.
Okay.
But, you know, if any clams are open, broken, stay away from the clams.
Okay.
Okay. So I sweat out the garlic a little bit. I want to add a little white wine. You know, whatever you want to use at home. We're using Chablis.
Okay.
Going to hit the red wine. I'm going to reduce it down. I'm going to add a little seasoning, a little black pepper, a little salt. I'm going to just adjust the salt later on because you have a lot of salt in the clams itself.
Yeah, all right, so not too much up front.
And then the clams, I'm just going to put the clams in.
Okay. So you scrub them up, right?
Scrub them up. They're all washed,
okay,
cleaned. And right now, I need to always have it covered.
Okay.
And the reason why you have it covered is because you want to create steam within the pot, and it'll steam the clams open.
All right.
And it keeps all the juices in. So now as the clams are steaming, all the natural clam juice is going to release into the sauce, and that's where you get a lot of the fresh flavor.
Okay.
So right now, you know, the pasta is cooking.
So that fresh clam juice that you have over there, where did that come from?
That came from when we shucked the original clams when we chopped them.
To chop them. Okay.
So I have the chopped clams here, and that's where I'm going to finish the sauce at the end. Once the clams are open, I'm going to put the clams in, the chopped clams, cook that out a little bit for a couple minutes, and then we'll finish the sauce.
Okay. All right. I ask a lot of questions.
Oh, that's all right. That's what it's all about.
I'm sure, well, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of folks would prefer to just plan their next date night at Benzie, let you do this, but there's always that adventurous person who really wants to try it at home.
Well, also, since it's wedding week, too, that's one of our things. We do have a private dining room at Benzie at this location for 50 seats. We have done some smaller weddings at the location, and we do tons of bridal showers.
Well, I mean, that's nice because weddings sometimes, they're getting smaller as things get more expensive, or people are, just kind of paring it down, wanting to save their money for their house or something like that. They're looking for, a smaller venue, but that will also, make them feel like it's a special
we
day.
took one last week, and they didn't want to save money for the house, but they needed to save money for the honeymoon.
Okay.
Because they were going to Hawaii, so.
Right.
That was their
good.
big thing, so they're kind of penny pinching the...
Good for them. Is this dish on the menu at Benzie all the time, or is it special?
On the menu all the time.
Okay, popular?
It's fairly popular.
All right,
down
cool.
there.
All right, well, there's no sense in us standing around watching the spaghetti boil, waiting for the clams to steam, so we're going to do a couple of other things. We're going to talk to our coupon consultant, and then we come back. We're going to keep going on our recipe.
Sounds great.
All right, Ken, thanks.
All right, thanks.
All right, it's Wedding Week on the Hampton Road Show, and if you're trying to plan your special day on a budget, we are here to help. Well, Lori's going to. She's the expert here. Lori Clayton, our coupon consultant, is going to share some best strategies for cutting down some of those wedding expenses because it can add up.
Yes. Well, first of all, you want to prioritize because there could be, say it's the photographer or the dress, it could be one area that you don't want to skimp on.
Right.
So set that priority first and say, okay, this is what we're going to spend the major money on. Everything else we can cut corners on, or look how we can do it cheaper.
Okay.
And so set that priority first, then set a budget. I actually have friends who did an all-cash budget. They were not going to put anything on credit, and that way they set the budget, they had the money in the bank, and they were not going over. So when that new little something came out, or they saw that new little something, they weren't tempted to do it because they knew they had that set budget, cash budget only, and that's all they could spend.
You're not stressing out on your honeymoon.
That's right.
There's all the money.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so where can we skimp? What do you want to...
Okay, well, let's look at the dress.
Okay.
Some people may want to go big on the dress, but, think about an off-the-rack setting, something like that. I actually had somebody who told me about getting a display dress, and so they were, able to do repairs on beads, that kind of thing, but it costs a whole lot less. Don't forget secondhand stores and thrift stores.
Yes.
There's actually a thrift store in downtown Norfolk. It's called Good Mojo. You can look it up. They have designer dresses right now that started at $2,500 that are only $300 right now.
Really?
So you definitely want to look at thrift stores, secondhand stores, be willing to do that.
And a lot of those dresses, I'm sure, were worn by brides one time, and then they're, very good condition.
And they were saying that they have all sizes, everything from size 4 to size 24.
Oh, that's great.
So it's the full gamut, no need to worry about that. Yeah, absolutely. So that would be one way, one day, to kind of save some money. Flowers. Now, I'm going to say this. I brought in this little kind of, I'm sure, floral arrangers all over Hampton Roads. They're turning over, But I'm telling you, I went to Norfolk Floral Wholesale yesterday, Wholesale Floral, and for $10, I picked this up. The color is my daughter's color because she wanted to pick this out. You could do it. I made this little, very crude bouquet in about 15 minutes. And look, a boutonniere, $10.
Look at that.
And so there are tons of ways that you can cut on flowers. 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
So imagine what you could do in an hour with some friends that are creative.
Yeah, and friends that are creative, and there are lots of websites out there to tell you how to do it. This is actually
really good. I mean, for the boutonnieres, it's normally like a rose or something. I know,
it's just super cute and super easy. 15 minutes for both, so that's one way to do it. Pictures, ask around. There could be a new photographer who's trying to get started that has, got a gallery up, but ask around. Also, college students who are in the photography area, that's their major. We had some family pictures done that way, and they are some of the best we've ever had taken. So definitely ask around.
Okay.
The other thing, too, don't forget to put disposable. I say disposable. I shouldn't say that. That was what we did at my wedding all those years ago. Disposable
people still do that on the tables.
On the center of the table, some of the best. But the other thing, too, is have your friends all bring their digital cameras and do that, and maybe set up like a little photo booth thing, that just great stuff. So you can save money that way.
Okay.
Now, reception locations, think about backyard. That's a big deal right now. And if you're doing it where it's really good weather, try backyard. That's typically free. I have one friend that's getting married this summer. She actually is using a Park and Recs building in Suffolk. She said it's beautiful and so cheap.
Really?
Yeah. So definitely think outside the box. Don't definitely, you don't have to go to the big hall, the most expensive. Now, food.
Yeah, how do we get creative on that one? I know, obviously, deals with coupons. And
you can do that, but also think about a non-mealtime reception. That way you're just doing cake, finger foods, that kind of thing. And then think about a smaller gathering at your home, backyard barbecue, that kind of thing, where you could do a meal, but it's for those close, intimate friends.
Gotcha.
So do something kind of for the masses early afternoon, and then in the evening, a smaller group. So absolutely, that's a definite way to do it.
All right, well, you just hit on a bunch of topics there for the bride to save some money on expenses. Of course, we're going to link Lori's blog through our website. That is thehamptonroadshow.com. As always, thank you.
Thank you. All right, it's time to check in with the Buzz Center. See what people are talking about. There's a lot to talk about this morning.
That's right. Which way do you want to go? Are we going to start with the hyphenated names?
Or
sure. Changing the
name changer, the game changer, name changer.
For some reason I'm thinking hyphenated. I know that seems like a lot of female athletes that made a name for themselves wanted to go the hyphenated route. Like Misty May Trainer, Jackie Joyner, Justine Hennon Hardin, you know, so. But we asked you, when you get married, do you change your last name or hyphenate it? Kimmy says, depends on the name, laugh out loud. Becky Dowd wanted to hyphenate, but it wouldn't fit on the name line on a check. So I took only his last name. Mackenzie, it depends on the name. Ashley said, I wanted to hyphenate, but I wanted the same last name as my children, so I changed it to his last name. And Christy South says, I hated giving up on my maiden name. It's part of me. I wanted him to take my name.
And that, you know, I knew people that they both changed their name to a hyphenated name. They both changed their last name legally to a hyphenated name. So, you know,
I think for
it's
the
not
guy,
just for the girls.
I think for the guy, you're sitting there thinking, oh, please take my name.
Really?
Yeah, you don't want to put pressure on the woman. But you just kind of think, oh gosh, what's she gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, Kev said do whatever you want, but you know, he's a pretty
he was saying the right thing.
He was,
You know
but you're saying he was thinking,
Yeah.
take Fury.
Take my name.
How could you not take Fury though? That is awesome.
It is pretty
Could have
cool.
been a rock
And
star.
speaking of Fury,
Yes.
how about the Fiery that we saw last night at Daytona?
Oh my gosh! What are the chances there'd be a jet engine on the track?
Well, they were dry on the track. It was, you know, but the 200 gallons of jet fuel ignited soon after the second lap, which caught up a crash. It was just a crazy weekend for Daytona. We just want to know what your thoughts on the big race was. Crystal Moody says, Denny Hamlin is back. So glad he did great. Caitlin, wow, wish I would have watched it. It ended after midnight. How about this?
Look at
Louisa
that.
says, I don't watch car racing. If I wanted to watch cars go really fast, I would take a folding beach chair to the side of the highway, park myself out there for a while, and watch the cars go by. Sorry, guys. Well, you're not going to see that on 264.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, well, maybe you will. Never know. All right, thanks for letting us know your thoughts. We're going to share a few more with you in a few minutes, especially chickens in the backyard.
Yeah, fresh eggs.
All right, still ahead on the Hampton Roads Show, we combine aloha and baseball and take a look back at one of the biggest weddings in Hampton Roads history. Can you say the flying Hawaiian? Benny Agbayani.
All right, but first, you can stand up for families battling childhood cancer with an amazing gesture of solidarity. Our live audience is from St. Baldrick's Day, Hampton Roads. Their Shave and Raise event will raise money. They'll tell you how you can take part in just a moment.
And don't forget our pop quiz. You could win a gift basket loaded with the same Academy Awards swag the stars took home on Sunday night. Just log on to thehamptonroadshow.com, click on the pop quiz button on the top right-hand corner of the screen.
Our live audience today is from the Virginia Beach St. Baldrick's Day event, Hampton Roads Shave to Raise. It's a unique fundraising event that is a whole lot more than just raising money. Larry Woods joins me now, Shave to Raise organizer, along with some very special guests, and we thank everybody for coming today. So you look like you're gearing up.
Yeah, I've been about 6 months now. So I've been kind of really getting ready for this whole thing. Each year I do another month to it. So
Now you will take a before picture because this is awesome what you've got going on here, and I'm going to be asking you for some product advice after the after the show.
Yeah, it's a product called glue. Actually, it's the only way it stays up. But yeah, we've been gearing up for it. St. Baldrick's this is our 9th St. Baldrick's here in Hampton Roads.
Yeah.
And this is my 7th personally. So it's a nice, great fundraiser, help for childhood cancer research. Last year we raised $134,000. We had about 163, I think, shavies. We're trying to really go higher than that this year. We've really hit a lot of things this year.
Yeah.
And then everyone here has participated in some way, shape, or form, actually longer than I've been around. We've got Great Clips with Patty in the back. Great Clips has been great. Of course, we've got some people who actually work with CHKD. It's a conflict of interest for them to actually say that they partner, but these individuals take their time out to help out, including Dr. Lowe right here next to me. And the event actually came to Hampton Roads in 2004 because of this man and his wife right behind him, because of their son. So we kind of do this in dedication for them and, of course, of all the other families that have go through the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, there is some good news in pediatric cancer in terms of the cure rates are getting higher because the funding for the research is there, but even the children who have a great prognosis cannot get around that treatment. And it's tough, and losing their hair is emotionally tough. How do they react when they see people willingly going bald with them to help them?
It's one of those infectious kinds of things when
Yeah.
you're there. Everyone's happy. It's amazing. And actually, each year, St. Baldrick's has 5 ambassador kids throughout Northern America. We have one of them right behind me. This is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. It's an honor to meet you. So what does it mean
Nice to meet you
to you to see people showing that kind of support?
I think it shows, especially the first time I lost my hair, I was 14. And when you're 14, that's all that matters. But when other people who aren't in the same situation as you are show that kind of love and compassion, and that it doesn't matter, and that you're still beautiful, and it's great. It's infectious, and it's just awesome.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that, too, because I know you probably weren't expecting to speak today, and I just saw the moment.
I'm sorry about that.
You did. Well, if people want to take part, what should they know about where and when?
So you can go to hrgoesbald.com, and it will redirect you to the page. It's going to be at the Westin on March 17th, the largest building in Virginia for the largest St. Baldrick's in Virginia. Will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then if you come, we've got a lot of fun activities that'll happen. I think I'm going to have the police department versus the fire department. Kind of whoever raises the most will get to shave the other team's hair.
Nice.
We'll have raffle items. There'll be silent auction. I'm trying to work on some mascot races for the kids. There's tons of stuff. I actually had something I kind of wanted to throw out there. You got a nice co-host up there, Mr. Chris, who's got a lovely, set of hair. I was wondering what kind of bounty we could set with your viewers to get him to do it. I was thinking around like $25,000 if people would do it, if he would come out, and I'll be right there next to you to shave mine.
If you get $25,000, I'll go with it.
Fantastic.
Wow. Good for you. Good for you.
Whoever does the most top donation, if you show up, you can shave his hair.
Wow.
So just go to the site, hrgoesbald.com. There's a way you can donate right there. Just donate to the site, and if we get $25,000, Chris said it, he'll do it.
All right. Well, Ariane and I are about to put our cars on eBay just to kind of out. So have no fear. All right. All the information there on the screen for you. Help out St. Baldrick's. Go to stbaldricks.org to sponsor a child or be one of the brave who will shave. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too.
Wow.
I do have a lot of potential
I will be
here,
the first $50 towards that.
Oh, you will?
Yes, definitely.
Oh,
Let's do
my.
that.
Here we
All
go.
right. Well, Wedding Week continues in just a moment on the Hampton Road Show. Up next, we're talking about options for bridal hair and makeup with the folks from Behind the Veil Studio in Virginia Beach. When it comes to her wedding day, of course, brides want their hair and their makeup to be picture perfect. Joining us now is Elizabeth Alfier, co-owner, stylist, and makeup artist from Behind the Veil Studio, the first full-service signature salon that caters directly to brides and their bridal parties. Welcome to the Hampton Road Show.
Thank you.
Great to be here for Wedding Week. You guys are a one-stop shop. How important is that for brides to be able to just kind of have everything in one place?
Really, really important. I feel like a lot of the time people are really not only crunched for money, but time as well. And so as long as we can offer people that we work with hand in hand in the shop, but also like preferred vendors that we can send them to that we've worked with, it's probably really convenient. So.
How does that work when you have a bride come in along with her bridal party? What's that process like? Do they have options if they want to just get hair and makeup or if they want the works?
Oh yeah, there's tons of different packages. We're kind of really trying to be the only salon that offers as many options as possible. So of course there's the standard hair and makeup or an a la carte menu, so you can do one or the other or all, everything combined, but we'll also throw in lunch as well, so you don't have to worry about trying to go pick it up or anything like that. We also have an on-site photographer, so we're trying to make it as easy as possible.
What's the reaction that you get when brides leave your salon?
I think that just the convenience factor is really overwhelming, and it's really a great thing to be able to just go and totally relax, because it's a very anxious morning and it's a really stressful time, so we just really want to incorporate the spa feel and the elements of just relax and let us take care of it all. So they're usually really happy. Do you guys have a limit as far as how many in a bridal party that you can take and to do all of that? As far as the setup goes, no, we can pretty much take as many as need be. It's myself, my co-owner Sam, and then also we have a stylist, Aubrey, that's in the shop, but then we work hand in hand with another couple of other people that work on our team, so they're kind of on call. If we need them, we bring them in.
Now for you guys, do you recommend brides maybe make an appointment beforehand as a consultation to kind of give you guys an idea of how they want their hair, how they want their makeup before they bring in 6 or 7 or 10 girls with them?
Absolutely, because a lot of the time it's never really the bride that has the issue because she's already thought about it for so long. It's always the bridesmaid. So even then, I would say, the bridesmaid need to look at pictures and get a good idea. You never want to surprise the day of.
Yeah, it's like, you're doing this, and like, what? Do you guys do folks other than just brides? Can you just regular everyday people just come in and make appointments?
Yep, we're definitely a full functioning service salon. So I mean, keratin treatments, colors, cuts, the works. We wax as well, so we do it all.
Okay, so you're full service, and you guys talk about your bridal open house. That's going to be March 29th.
Yeah, we are joining forces with a handful of wedding professionals.
Okay.
And they're going to help us put it on. We're going to have florists, wedding consultants, caterers, all of that. So it's going to be another one-stop shop, so you can come in, mingle with other brides, and see what the deal is.
Awesome. Well, let's put the information where you guys are located. Behind the Veil Studio, 508 North Birdneck Road, Suite G. You can also visit them online, behindtheveilstudio.com. Elizabeth, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you don't have to get married inside a church. Some people like to get married at the beach. Others may like to combine their love of sports, maybe even baseball. I will show you a wedding alternative next on this week's edition of Wreck on the Road.
You may not have to get married in a church, but you got to eat. We're going to check in again with Ken Hurley from Benze Ristorante Italiano to see how the delicious linguine with white clam sauce is coming along.
Back in the Buzz Center, everyone, with Chris Reckling. How you feeling after that big challenge?
That big challenge? I'm okay with it.
They raised $25,000.
You raised $25,000 and you can have my hair.
And I said I would be the first $50 toward it, so I'll cover all my information. But $50 right there. I'm going to pass that over to you guys.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so
you
guys were talking about for Wedding Week changing their last names. We were also talking about chickens. The lady in Virginia Beach who's been raising them for about a year. She has 22 chickens that produce 19 eggs a day. She says she's not doing anything wrong. Her neighbors love it. City officials in Virginia Beach say they would have to change zoning rules, and if they do it for one, where do you draw the line?
It's not for everybody.
It isn't.
It's not for everybody, but I don't have a problem with it.
Let's see. Robin Owsley says, I had a neighbor that raised a couple of chickens. No mess, no smell. It was pretty cool to hear them in the morning. Tina says, I think people should be able to do what they need to feed their families. She says, I want chickens in Chesapeake as well, but she's been told she couldn't have them. That seems so unfair. Melissa says, no, if your neighbor's house is close enough that you can see them in their window, you should not be able to. That's the thing. Your neighbors might have an issue. You may be wanting to raise them, but
Jen says chickens are less of an annoyance than most dogs.
Kat Ferguson says, would love some, but live in Portsmouth, only 3 or 4 hens, not a farm caliber. Let's see. Rob says, why would it be illegal in the first place? Is there a public health concern? The city says that they're concerned about, protecting the human population, diseases and things like that.
Right.
But she says, her neighbors support her, and it's kind of following the trend that more people are going local. You eat fresh local food source, and you have chickens right there.
Yeah,
next door neighbor.
Great pets.
Yeah. And what else? Oh, NASCAR, and then hyphenating the name. A couple people. You were saying, what was your wife's maiden name?
Maiden name was Shepherd. And she jumped right in and went Reckling. So
I would say I would change my name, but for a profession like this, for TV, definitely would keep Ariane Aramburo.
Double A?
Mm-hmm. Double A.
I like that. Makes sense.
Jen says, there's your answer. She's hyphenated her name, Jen Sloggy Pierce.
Yeah, but a lot of people do that just for Facebook, just to keep those names on there.
Well, I guess she, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, thanks for sending us your comments, and I'm going to pass this check over to you guys in the kitchen with Carrie.
All right, thank you very much. Back in the kitchen with Ken Hurley, another cool name. Okay. Hurley, you're single, married?
I'm married.
None of my business. Well, you're married. Did she take your name? Is there a Mrs. Hurley?
She took my name.
How'd you feel about that?
Well, you know what? She had no choice. No,
really?
I'm joking.
Wow. Chris Reckling, you were right. Sometimes they're not just thinking it.
I'm only saying that because my wife lives in Jersey and she's not going to be watching this. So.
Oh, well, we put the Hampton Road Show online. She could watch it online, Ken.
All right. Well.
All right, let's get back to the food.
All right, let's see.
Out of trouble.
Let's see. We're looking. Let's see how this. This looks beautiful. Look at that. clams steamed open, and that's one thing else you have to look for. If the clams do not open, that normally means that it's not a good clam. So and don't even take a knife and try to force it to open, throw the thing right in the garbage.
Ditch it.
Yep.
Okay.
Mussels, any shellfish.
Okay.
When it comes to, excellent. So,
but you don't have to get rid of the whole batch.
no, you don't have to get rid of the whole batch. Just
Okay.
pick out the one or two clams, if any. Here, I'm looking around, scoping the area. I don't see any that haven't
Everything's
opened.
good. So a lot of juices in the pan now with
A
the
lot
wine
of
and
juices, the
barbecue.
white wine,
Keep it.
garlic. I put a little bit of oregano in there. And now I'm going to put the fresh chopped clams. Let me put a little bit in there. You know what? Let's go. Let's do it all on that. All right.
Do it all.
Turn up the heat on
Everybody
this.
will come. Everybody will come into
Oh,
the kitchen
yeah.
after the show, so
Okay,
you don't
sounds
have to
good.
worry about making too much.
All right. The pasta looks about done.
Okay.
Just.
You're going to throw a piece against the wall,
You know what? I don't think it would be a good idea.
baby. I'm just kidding. We should
Well,
remind folks they Ken Hurley came
Remember,
down.
I'm from New York, so I have some manners, but if I was up in Boston, I would probably throw that over there. So you had to set that up. All right, so we have to have some fun.
April's coming. April's coming.
All in fun.
Yes. So are you on the road a lot with your job?
You know what? I do travel quite a bit. I come down here, not that often, a few times a year.
Yeah.
But yeah,
lot with all the
quite a few.
If you missed the first segment, Ken is here for Benzie. We have one location here in Virginia, but there are many in Pennsylvania. You said New York, New Jersey.
One in Pennsylvania, 2 in Pennsylvania, 1 down here, 17 in Jersey.
Holy moly.
And mostly northern Jersey up in Bergen County. We have quite a few, but it's spread out throughout the state.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. And it is wedding week, and you said you do get the small wedding receptions sometimes, or rehearsal dinners.
Small parties, rehearsal dinners. We have set menus, but we customize menus. We're working within people's budgets.
Perfect.
And high end, lower end, we do it all. And the place is beautiful. A beautiful fountain in front, outdoor seating that seats 100. Beautiful to have a reception on a nice day in the summertime.
Yeah.
We have awnings, the whole thing. So it's a beautiful setting.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so here I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to take now the pasta. I'm going to add it to the sauce.
Oh. Now, what's better about that? Because some people would just throw it in the bowl and then pour the sauce over it.
You know what? I actually like to coat the pasta. I want all the sauce to be on it, and then I could add more sauce to the bowl.
Okay.
All right, so I got that. I'm going to turn that off. And here I'm just going to cut up a little fresh parsley, flat leaf parsley.
Can I keep the sauce?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I don't want to do something. This would be good with some nice bread or something, huh?
Nice crusty bread, toasted. Nice glass of white wine.
What kind of wine would you recommend? Does it matter?
You know what? If we're going to say, maybe a Pinot Grigio.
Okay.
Stay with that.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're looking good. And now I'm going to bowl it up.
Okay. All right, when we come back, we're going to give it a try. I'm going to bring Chris and Ariane over here so they can try it too. And we will put all of the ingredients in the how-to at thehamptonroadshow.com. Or if you would like to just go to Benzie, it's at Peninsula Town Center in Hampton, 5101 Kilgore Avenue. Or you could go to benzierestaurants.com. Call 825-0180 if you want to talk to them more about your event coming up or if you just want to make a reservation.
All right, it is time now for this week's edition of Wreck on the Road.
That's right, Ariane. Keeping with the wedding theme this week, and you know my love of sports, we combine the two, and it leads us to Harbor Park. We're talking baseballs and bouquets on this week's edition of Wreck on the Road. The most die-hard baseball fans like to joke that baseball is religion. But how far would you take it?
We've had a number of people that have gotten married on the field and then had the reception that hits at the park.
Would you get married at the ballpark? It happens more often than you think at Harbor Park. In fact, back in July of 1998, Norfolk Tides outfielder Benny Agbayani, a native Hawaiian, got married just before the International League All-Star Game. With over 11,000 fans in attendance, it was one of the most highly attended wedding ceremonies in Hampton Roads history.
We kind of suggested to them, why don't you get married at the All-Star Game? And we ran into a little complication. He was getting called up to the big leagues at the time, And of course, it's during the All-Star break, and they arranged for him to come back. We had the wedding on the field. He's probably the first guy that's ever gotten married in front of about 11,000, 12,000 people.
Norfolk Tide's longtime general manager Dave Rosenfield remembers the night well, including the traditional lays given to the wedding party.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of funny because they had different kinds of the floral lays, and some of them were really beautiful with orchids and so on. And I got one that was just leaves. And I was kind of taken aback by it. I thought I was kind of being slighted. And then Benny and his wife told me later that that was for extra special people. So I felt a lot better about it.
Rosenfield says several weddings do take place at home plate, with receptions to follow at the Tide's restaurant Hits at the Park. As for popping the question at the game, Rosenfield says, be careful.
We had one of the funniest of all time here, and we do it on the video board. And sitting very close to where we are today in the stands, this guy proposed. We had the cameras on him, and she said no, and bolted, and just took off at a dead run with the camera following her. It was absolutely hilarious.
So
we have never seen either one of them since.
There is a lesson there for a lot of guys. Just be real careful what you ask for. Hey, if you're interested in getting married at Harbor Park, contact the Norfolk Tides front office at 622-2222 or log on to norfolktides.com. Norfolk Tides home opener Monday, April 9th at 7:15 versus the Gwinnett Braves. And I don't think anyone's going to be getting married that night, but you never know about
popping the question.
Popping the question.
She ran.
Oh my gosh. I like how
I
Jay
remember it
said
too,
it
man.
was hilarious, unless you were him.
Yeah, he was mortified.
I remember it. It was funny.
She didn't leave.
It was
You
really
remember
funny,
it?
man.
Bolted.
Oh yeah, I did.
Followed her?
It was pretty funny.
Wow.
He said, that's how you sprint, people. Watch that girl.
It almost
I want you
seemed
to
like
run
it
to
was
first like that.
It seemed surreal. Almost said like it was set up, because it was like, oh my God, look at that. She just.
Huh. We'll never know.
Oh, at least say maybe when you're on the Jumbotron, you know?
Good point.
Right.
Maybe.
I'll get back to you.
I'm going to cancel the blimp.
I'm sure it'll go fine for you if you're planning something like that soon.
Oh, they do that because so many people meet at the ballpark. That's the thing.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
they meet at the ballpark and they make that a special place. But,
Good point.
yeah.
All right, let's take a look at that pop quiz for the day. See if it's special for you out there. First clue is black, white, and red all over. That's a dead giveaway right there. Has a Rhode Island cousin, 5th largest Virginia city by population, and one of the first cities in America. So what do you think about this one? What do you think? What do we got? Come on.
Newport News!
Yeah, Newport News. That's right. You read the news, and yeah, the 5th largest city by population. One of the first cities there in America. I think it was one of the first 5 cities, if I'm not mistaken, but it was definitely one of the first 10. I know that. It was early.
I thought red was a typo.
Yeah,
I didn't want to call you out on that,
yeah.
man. You read all over. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But I'm ching.
You got me, man.
I may have had a little bit of an edge there being a New Englander and knowing about Newport, Rhode Island.
Right.
It's a
Yeah,
really
and
popular
lots of
city up
folks,
there, too.
not a lot of folks think about that, but yeah, there's also
I
another one.
kind of feel like Arion now.
You know what? I'm gonna up that. If I had $25,000 right now, I would just write you
I
a check
know.
and shave your head right now.
Right now.
But today's
Okay,
winner
sorry
is
about
gonna
that.
get that Oscar swag bag. We showed it last week. All the goodies, lots and lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
Took everything not for me
The
to take
heated
that robe
robe.
home. Yeah, the heated robe is
Heated
what I
robe.
wanted.
Someone's going to get a great prize.
Hopefully all that stuff's still in there.
Well, not only does he rock a shaved head, but he makes a mean linguine and clam sauce.
Right.
We're going to go back over to the kitchen and give that a try. Ken Hurley from Benzie Restaurant.
Welcome back. We all have food in our mouth. We're like, who's gonna talk? This
job,
is
Ken.
delicious.
Good flavor.
Thank you very much.
Really good.
Thanks for having us.
And Pete likes it too.
Oh, of
Clam.
course.
Yeah.
Little seafood. When do you head back up to New Jersey?
I'm actually heading up right after this. We have to
Oh, yeah.
plan some weddings up north, so you know
All
we
right.
gotta
Well, good
drive
luck with that.
carefully.
Safe
Thank you very
travels.
much.
Thanks for
All right,
coming down
thank
to
you.
Hampton Roads. Don't forget about Benzie is in Hampton at Town Center. So go see them, and the recipe will be online later. We want to thank our studio audience today. Shave to Raise, part of the St. Baldrick's Association, raising money to support kids with pediatric cancer and their families. And of course, Chris Reckling took the challenge.
There you have it. The challenge is out
25
there.
grand, and he will
Wow,
look
shave
like
it off.
that.
Yes.
Will go be there.
I think I got $5 in my pocket.
Yeah, please, let's raise some
right?
money here. Want to thank
I
Lori
don't know.
Clayton, our coupon consultant, and also Elizabeth Alfier from Behind the Veil Studio for all your wedding day needs. We'll have all that information on our website.
All right, tomorrow, a great spot maybe to have your little wedding and reception. In our postcard from Hampton Roads, we're going to take a look at the Lynn Haven House, whether you're planning your special day or just want to make a day special. It's a great little spot. We'll see you then.
And thanks to Dave Rosenfield for today's Wreck on the Road. A little small note, City of Norfolk is going to put a statue of Dave outside Harbor Park.
Awesome.
Wow.
You've heard it here
Have a
first.
great morning.
See you guys.